What's up, everybody? This is Drew Page, and in this video we are going to break down Season 2, Episode 8 of Undercover Billionaire, featuring none other than Grant Cardone. Let's go.
They're going undercover in cities they've never been to with only $100, a cell phone with no contacts, and an old truck. All they'll have are the business principles they used to become successful. At the end of 90 days, all three businesses will be independently evaluated. If it's a penny short of $1 million, I'll put in $1 million.
You know the drill. Each of our entrepreneurs are tasked with turning $100 into $1 million business in 90 days with nothing but a contactless cell phone and an old pickup truck. I apologize for the audio. I've addressed this in another video, but they're not allowing me to record from my iPhone for some reason, so I'm having to record directly from my desktop. I've ordered some speakers and they haven't come in yet, so I know it probably sounds like I'm yelling, but I'm really not. I'm actually speaking with my normal voice, but because the audio quality is so terrible, it makes it sound like I'm yelling. So when you see me, I guess just adjust to the video so the video will be louder. Hopefully once the speakers come in, that'll take care of it. I've already ordered some new lighting equipment, so hopefully the videos will be a lot brighter and more resilient. So I am spending money trying to improve the channel, and there's lots of things that I need to learn about this. So if you have any tips as far as programs to use, editing software, anything like that, please put it in the comments. I would love to learn more about how to improve my channel to present a better quality product for you guys. So with that said, I would ask that you would subscribe to my channel and like this video to help with the algorithm so we can get the content out to more people. So right now, Grant Cardone is trying his best to lock down the Kona Kaya as his multi-million-dollar property that he can use as a rental passive income property. And then he's also trying to run a promotion company. So when we come into episode 8, we start to see some specific events related to those two businesses transpire that will affect Grant Cardone throughout the rest of the show. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's all right, buddy. I know you're out there. I know you're out there making things happen. I didn't hear back from anyone at the barbershop that I pitched as an investor, so I'm definitely feeling the pressure. But I know that if I can get this deal locked in, I can land some serious investors. So I called the broker, Paul, to apply some pressure on him to see if we can get this deal done. Time is our enemy right now.
I know. I want to get this going quickly.
Yeah.
He's going to manage this the same way he has for 35 years.
Yeah.
You got to buy into that.
At this point in the episode, he's still waiting to hear back from the seller of the Kona Kaya, and he's on the phone with the broker trying to figure out what the holdup is. He wasn't able to get any investors as part of the meeting that he had an episode ago. They all fell through. So even if he does lock the deal in, he doesn't have any investors at this point. But he's thinking, if I can go ahead and get it locked in, then investors will come. So he's kind of pushing a little bit. And that's going to be important as we come to a later part in the episode that he's saying he wants to apply pressure to the seller because we're going to see how that works out for him later on.
I got to get this $1 million promotions business as fast as possible. To do that, I have to meet the team Matt has already hired. Hopefully we can work together. I got to see what I got to work with.
What's up?
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. How Lewis? Yeah. Meredith and Mia have only been hired to do marketing for Snooze and Snap. And pretty much all they're doing is social media. I need to shift their position. So I got to convince them and Matt to go bigger, way bigger. And to come on a wild journey, building a new company based around my way of promoting any business or any brand. And that's about being extremely aggressive. You understand what I'm talking about? Real aggressive. This is going to be new for Pueblo, new for Meredith, new for Mia, and new for Matt.
We've seen this type of guerrilla marketing from Grant Cardone in previous episodes, particularly when he was working at Snooze for that weekend promotion, and he was standing on the side of the road flipping signs and all the different things, handing out the sheets and putting them on the cars and essentially being obnoxious. So it's going to be interesting to see how this new generation, which is more about storytelling and more about making connection, versus the old school of just being in your face all the time. It'll be interesting to see how the old school meets new school connection can be developed. So we'll see if he's able to sell the girls on that.
Here's how I look at marketing, okay? All the young people who are going to social media, it's left a vacuum with traditional marketing, which is a phone call, an email, come see us, stand in the street, come on over here, crazy stuff. Like the concept is omnipresence. It's like, boom, I got hit here. Oh, I got called here. I got an email. I saw something on Instagram. Like, we want to bing this guy to where he's like, everywhere I go, I see you. Dude, enough is never enough. How many times do you have to be taught this lesson? You're coming up short everywhere. If you want your business to scale, then get aggressive by utilizing every single promotional tool possible so the world knows who you are, even if you're not selling to that part of the world. Promotional events, phone calls, letters, emails, you name it. By taking advantage of every outreach possible. The only thing you do by not doing this is you lose sales, you lose possibility, you lose expansion, and you lose the dream.
Grant's official principle here is enough is never enough. So, in other words, you want to be everywhere that you can possibly be. He calls it omnipresence, which is essentially where you just cannot get away from the presence of the person. You are everywhere present. So whether it's a phone call, email, social media, flyers, in your face, in person marketing, you are doing everything you can to make sure that there is not a single person missing who should have your product. And so that's the principle that he gives. Now, there's a lot of benefit to that, of course, is that you're using every channel, every avenue to try to grow your business and to develop yourself as an entrepreneur in the community, and people knowing who you are. Name recognition. It's kind of like the old saying that no press is bad press. But the flip side of this is that you can piss a lot of people off too. You can aggravate them, and people hang up on you, people yell at you, cuss you out, and all other different types of things because you're all in their face and they don't want you in their face. If they wanted you, they would hire you, they'd reach out to you. So it's got some cost and some benefit. Again, even if you aggravate somebody, you'll probably be more memorable. And then if somebody needs you, even though they didn't like you this first time, it's possible that they can still come to you if they remember you, but they don't remember the nice guy who's never pestered them. So it's a cost benefit. You just have to weigh that for your specific business. But the key being that we can always do more.
Yeah, I think one of the walls that we keep hitting is making sure that people don't feel harassed.
Or we lean into that.
Like lean into almost like the cheesiness way of it. So you want us to become notorious is basically what you're saying.
It's a number game. Being cheesy means I'm going back to the old roots, to the traditional, loud, noisy, tried and true methods. You know what I'm talking about? A piece of paper on a windshield, an email that's loud and noisy, okay? A video that's crazy and whacked out. Money follows attention. Once I get the attention, then I can have the quality message. Quantity and cheesy beats quality every time.
You can clearly see the younger generation is not on board with that. Obviously, they're getting a paycheck, so they'll probably do what they need to do, at least for now. But, they care more about authenticity. They don't care about the cheesy, in your face. I mean, a lot of younger folks are creating companies not to make a profit, even though they are for-profit businesses. They want to make an impact in the world and be authentic and real and be who they are. Whereas, Grant Cardone he could care less about the authenticity. He cares about, making more money and growing his businesses, and he doesn't really care what people think about him. So if you're more of the Grant Cardone type, you're probably going to push away some of these more authentic, younger generation. And if you're a younger generation person, you're probably not going to do these things. But there is something to be said to the fact that what Grant Cardone has done has clearly worked to grow his business into what it is. It's also caused a lot of haters out there. He may think I'm one to some degree because I don't talk perfectly about him all the time, even though I'm actually a pretty big fan of his. But when you draw attentions, like he says, being remembered and known will help then get the quality message out there. But your quality message doesn't matter if nobody knows who you are. So there's clearly some tension there between him and this younger group of ladies who is going to be working on the social media. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they call it cheesy, to his face, at just as Matt Smith has hired him and basically told them, y'all need to do what he tells you to do. And they come at it, oh, you want us to be cheesy. And he's saying you need to lean into it, lean into the cheesy and lean into the notorious. And, it'll be interesting to see how they battle that out.
You just lean into the tablet. I want you to make cheesy, sales push, aggression, come buy something right now.
One thing that I absolutely hate is like the cheesiness. You know, like I do not want to do anything cheesy. Like I want it to be like genuine and legitimate. And then like this whole meeting was kind of like flipping that on its head.
Yeah, so she made it clear. She's not interested in the cheesy. In fact, she thought that they were going to be basically doing what they've been doing, and now she says the meeting has flipped it over on his head. So she is definitely not on board with what he's going to try to do. If you would, put in the comments what you think about it. Are you more of the authentic marketing style, or are you more of the guerrilla marketing in your face style? Do you care more about what people think about you and your business, or do you just think about the bottom line? Please put in the comments what you think about that.
So what do you want us to get started on like right away?
I want to build a team of aggressive, almost like Pueblo outliers. Here's the challenge. These girls are 40 years younger than me. Okay, no offense, but they're not used to hearing no 100 times on the telephone call. They're not used to making calls, direct calls, or cold calling, or getting in front of corporate CEOs that are like, get out of here. They have to learn the ways of pushing aggressive promotions. No one in this town is doing hardcore guerrilla marketing. And I'm telling you, it is a lost art and it's extremely effective.
I do think that's a really smart idea. He recognizes that these girls are not into it. So what he wants them to do is to create a team of hungry Pueblo outliers who are willing to hear a no on the telephone but keep going. They don't get down in their spirit. They don't feel bad for being cheesy or whatever. So, he's not trying to remove them from the picture, but he's trying to add where they are weak. So I think that's a pretty smart principle for us in our businesses, where if we see that we have an employee or a staff member that's really good at one aspect of their job, but they're not great at another, then you need to fill the gap. Go out and find somebody that can fill the gap that they can't meet.
Be obsessed or be average. You got to go all in. People don't know you for your work ethic. They don't know you. And it means you're not working. Obsession, that quality where you lock in like a hungry dog on the back of a meat truck, is the only way highly successful people become highly successful. Being obsessed is a full-time job. No weekends, no vacation, no breaks, and for me, no hair.
So his second official principle is be obsessed or be average. That's basically the title of one of his books. It's also the main principle of the 10X rule, and basically everything else that he's ever written, and goes in line with the guerrilla marketing principles of, you just gotta be after it 100%. Nobody needs to care about your business more than you do. If you don't care about your business, with an obsession, then you're not going to make it. You need to be obsessed over your business. And I can say personally that there have been times where I have not been obsessed over my law firm or my other businesses that I've been doing. I've been, dabbling here, dabbling there, making sure I did enough, but, wasn't really obsessed about it. And then last year, as we were coming out of the pandemic and I was dealing with some mental health issues where I literally thought that I was going to pass away like every day for 14 days, there just came a point where once I got some recovery that I just went all in again on my law practice. And that has really helped fuel not only my business and helping that grow, but also has helped me mentally and physically and spiritually to be able to have that goal again, to have that push of wanting to see the law firm grow massively into a powerhouse in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So having that obsession, it helps you in so many ways. So, keep that principle in mind, even though it wasn't really connected a whole lot with anything other than him cutting his hair.
I'm meeting with Matt and the Snap and Snooze promo team to go over their social media strategies. If we're going to promote to other businesses and ask big money to promote their business, it starts at home. Our social media has to be on point so we can lead by example and show these other companies what we can do for them.
Grant is 100% on in that regard. He's saying that he needs to make sure that the Snap and Snooze social media and web presence is on point, because if it's not, they're not going to be able to sell it to anybody else. It's kind of like what Dave Ramsey says. It's like a shop teacher with missing fingers. If you're tearing your fingers up, you have no business teaching kids how to work in the shop. It's also like if you are a personal trainer, you probably need to be in some reasonably good fitness yourself. Otherwise, you can have all the education and all the knowledge in the world about how other people can be more fit. But at the end of the day, if you're not in shape, people aren't going to hire a personal trainer that's out of shape. So whatever your business is, if you're trying to sell it and it's something that you're asking people to copy, you need to make sure that your version of it is top notch.
Y'all want to just talk about what I saw when I went and looked at the pages. So what I observed, without offending anyone, I don't want to offend anyone. You're doing a good job, and you're not using social.
I was actually looking at YouTube, if that's where you're going.
Yeah.
And it was like a really long interview style video.
Yeah, there's your video. It's got one like. Yeah, it was me. So, like this video right here, somebody else shot this, right? Yeah. It's a 15-minute video. It should have been made into at least 15 videos. Google owns YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to push YouTube up to the top of this thing. And so when they plug in mattress, if I go to mattress in Pueblo, they're not going to Facebook first, guys. They're going to go search at Google. Mattress firm Pueblo Sleep Solutions. I don't see you. Okay, now I'm going to go to video. I mean, we just bury this. We got to start we're trying to fill the Grand Canyon up with bricks. So that means hundreds of videos, not 6. If they don't know you, they can't float. I didn't build my business or my brand or my name by uploading a handful of videos. I did it across every distribution channel possible, all so that I could get my name in front of the public that I wanted to buy from me. Look, if they don't know you, they ain't going to flow you.
So his third principle is if they don't know you, they won't flow you, which, whatever. That's really the same principle as the very first principle, as enough is never enough. The same as money follows attention. It's all the same. It's just more ways of saying the exact same thing that they've said for Grant Cardone's principles in this show, because that's primarily what he's all about. I mean, I think it's kind of ridiculous that they set these principles out now that this show has gone on several episodes. You can kind of see it's just repetitive. There's nothing really new here. I mean, it's the same principles throughout the episode, so they probably could have just done without that. But the interesting thing was watching Grant Cardone pull up the YouTube channel and see that there were only 6 videos, and one of them was an interview style for 15 minutes with only 1 like, and it was his like that he saw once he went to the page. So these girls are supposed to be expert social media, and they have 6 videos on YouTube, 1 video with 1 like, and that's it. And so if you don't go to your pages and see what you have, you won't know what works and doesn't work. I mean, there are times where I create a video and I post it and I see that the views are low. So that tells me that I probably either don't need to do a video like that, or I need to change something about it so that I can make it better and grab more attention. So you've got to be willing to look at what you have in order to know where you need to go. And these girls clearly had not done that. And that was an interesting point, far more interesting than the stupid principle that they gave there.
Tomorrow we'll create a bunch of videos. We'll get some YouTube. But he says, okay, we'll make videos tomorrow. That's what every company's going to do. Tomorrow's going to come. Next day. And the next thing you know, you got a business running with no YouTube channel, no Facebook, no Instagram. Personally, I think we should make tomorrow today.
Let me tell you something. What he just said there, if you don't get anything else out of this show, you take that. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll create some videos tomorrow. Even Matt Smith, who's clearly a driven person, he says, we'll create some more videos tomorrow. And Grant Cardone says, yeah, that's what every business says. We'll do it tomorrow. He says, why don't we make tomorrow today? You need, if you've got a journal, write that down. Write down, why don't I make tomorrow today? He says, the businesses, they say they'll do it tomorrow, they never do, then we have a business with no YouTube page. That statement right there by Grant Cardone is worth the price of the time of any video that we've watched. If you get that where you start working today on what you were planning on doing tomorrow, your business will make it. You'll thrive. Don't put off to tomorrow what can be done today.
They're moving forward with a different group will come. What? No way. I gotta hear all about this. The seller got scared. He's like, you got too aggressive. I needed him to sign off on Saturday. And he's like, the guy needs time. I said, look, I don't understand. The apartment deal is dead. That was gonna be my score. There's Paul right there. Paul's calling in. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Lewis.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Man, how does another group come in right after me and scoop this deal up?
Some other, tourist interest coming in. Just not as much pressure as I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know.
But I mean, if they needed more time, like, yeah, I'm just over here just cracking on myself saying, what did I do wrong here, man?
I'm with you. I think what it was, we just pushed it too hard. I think now it's too late because this other group is already,
Yeah. So did he get more money? Did he get more money?
no, and I can't go into the specifics of it, but no, it's not more than
It's almost never price. Sales are often lost over unspoken objections. I lost this deal not because of price. This deal fell apart because I pushed too hard, too fast. It was not about the price. It was not about the terms. Remember this. It's almost never price.
Grant's fourth principle is it's almost never price. He says that the reason he lost the deal, according to the broker, was that he was pressuring the seller too much. And because he was pressuring the seller on the timeline, the seller went with someone else. The broker said that the seller wanted more time. But that doesn't add up because he's already now entered into an agreement with another group for the same amount of money that he was that Grant had offered. So he didn't make any more money and he didn't save any more time. So that just makes no sense. So if the reason why the seller didn't sell was because he felt he was being pushed, then this seller was just the biggest sissy I've ever heard of. I mean, that just makes zero sense at all. Because someone's asking you to close by Saturday, they wanted to hear something. And I remember early in the phone call that Grant, when Grant was trying to find out what was going on, the broker was like, the seller's been doing it this way for 35 years. And so he's running business the same way. Screw your 35 years. That's stupid. If the reason why you're not selling to somebody is because you got your little feelings hurt, I mean, that's just, you're your sissy. I'm sorry. I'm calling you a sissy. I don't know who you are. You can look me up and you can call me out or whatever. I'm saying you're a sissy. If that's really the reason why this deal went bad. I think there's probably more to it than that. I think this was probably just some drama for the TV show. But put in the comments what you think. Do you think that this is just a drama thing for the show? Or do you think this guy's really the sissy that I think he is?
Now that my real estate deal is blown up and imploded, I have to focus all my energy on building the promo business. I was doing research and found a company called Advantage Home Mortgage as a potential new client for our promo company.
It's a crazy year in real estate.
It's a crazy year. Yeah, we're doing well. Good. That's what he was saying on the way over here, how much you've done, and you're the king of mortgages in Pueblo.
Oh yeah, he is. If there is a king, it's this guy.
So what we do is we do what you can't do, don't do, and never get around to doing. Take care of all your social media pages, every one of them, including the ones you don't use or have. We create video content and written content around that.
All right.
Basically, put your name on it.
Okay.
So the place to go is to start telling stories, not ads. Stories about your company, about how you join with Remax. What's the average price of a home here? What's the average loan? How you can get one done in 30 minutes? How you get an approval? We would put all those stories together.
Okay.
And you would just basically say, this is what I want my story to be, and give it to us to do that.
Grant struck out on the Kona Kaya, so now he's got to go all in on the marketing company. And he's meeting with this guy at Advantage Mortgage, and he's pitching him a social media and guerrilla marketing package so that he can try to bring in a $60,000 client. Basically $5,000 a month is what he's going to be charging this guy. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Grant gets to the pitch of making this guy want to take the marketing company on. So let's hear the unusual method that Grant uses to get this guy's attention.
How much money did you make last year? spends $5 grand a month, 12 months in a row, spend 60 grand. Yeah, 60 grand a year to do this right. Hey, you want the sale? You gotta shake them up. You gotta wake them up, but mostly you gotta ask hard questions. You gotta take those scary questions and put them right in his face. Look, I've been in 50,000 meetings in my career, at least, with guys just like this. Nice guy, hears you out, but it's nearly impossible to sign him up. He's a looky-loo. He's a waiter, a thinker. He's a put-offer until you put him on the hot seat and you ask him hard questions. When you ask hard questions, you find out who you're dealing with.
As part of your sales pitches, how many of you out there have asked, how much money did you make last year to a prospective buyer? That was a new one. I understand the principle of qualifying a buyer. And if you don't understand that, what that means is that you don't want to waste your time selling to someone who can't afford your product. You want to meet and spend time with qualified buyers, those who can afford your services and that are interested in your services. And I mean, he just comes right out the gate and says, how much have you made? You told it to the IRS. Why can't you tell me? You can tell me how much you made last year. But the point being that he was trying to as his principle says, shake him up and wake him up. But really, that sounds stupid. That really isn't a business principle. The real business principle was what wasn't on the screen, which is be willing to ask tough questions. Probably a better principle would be make sure you present before qualified buyers, but I guess that won't sell much advertising for television. But that's really what he's getting at, is making sure it's a qualified buyer. Cut to the chase. There's been lots of times where I would be sitting in a legal consultation meeting, and I realized very quickly that this person isn't going to have the money to hire me. Now, I can sit there and listen to their story for an hour, but it's not going to do either one of us any good. I'm wasting my time that I could be given to clients that are able to hire me. Now I'm wasting their time because I'm not going to take their case if they can't afford to hire me. So, it's really respectful to figure out whether they are qualified buyers early on, so neither one of you waste a whole lot of time. That would be a better principle than the shake them up, wake them up, whatever nonsense that was.
It's $5 grand a month. To be everywhere, on every channel that you know will exist longer than TV will.
We would pretty much take over all of your content plus new videos and new content on every weekly basis for the year.
Right. All right. Let's do it. Welcome to the team. Came into this town with $100, man. I picked up $60K today. That's strong. When I come out here and buy a house, I'll do my deal with you. Better. That's what I'm talking about. First guy to sign on the dotted line to give us the dollars. But I'm excited. They're excited. We're off to a great start, but we need to keep momentum going. We got to find the ones that will pay us, that will sign up, that will become clients and part of our portfolio. And the faster we can do that, the more successful we are at picking the right people that will play with us. It's going to accelerate the speed at which the company can grow.
All right, Grant lands the deal, picks up a $60,000 client, and he's got a little bit of momentum now. So we'll see how he's able to grow and develop this company as he now has a solid candidate and is now looking for more qualified buyers in the future. Again, I'm Drew Page. If you'd like to keep up with all of my Undercover Billionaire content, please click on the Undercover Billionaire link in the description below. Additionally, if you would please subscribe to my channel and like this video to help with the algorithm. And if you really want to help me out, you can get a copy of my book, The Right Defense for a Traffic Offense in Virginia. Please put in the comments your thoughts on the guerrilla marketing versus the authenticity marketing. And until next time, stay tuned.